Not many people know this, but the majority of the web is made up of material design. What? What is that? Paper or some shit? No, it's a design system created by Google that is completely open source and is literally the holy grail of the internet. It completely revolutionized everything and provided a standard for high quality user experiences and solved things like creating consistency on various different viewports, for example your desktop and your phone. So in this video I'm going to share a story of how material design actually changed the face of the entire freaking internet. And at the same time, I'm going to give you some tools, whether you're a designer or a developer, to start actually using this tool. For starters, we got to figure out what the hell is material in the first place. So it was created in 2014, and it's a design system not just created for Google, but for the entire internet. It's fully customizable for any brand, and again, sets those standards for various things. It's meant to be natural and intuitive for users, so you know what the heck to do. So like literally it lays out colors, typography, grids, you frickin' name it. And then it gives you components, how to build the components, variation of those, and then it's basically like designing software with Legos. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, you just choose what masterpiece you'd like to create. Okay, so rewind back. We have skeuomorphism. What? Skeuomorphism? Skeuomorphism? I don't know. Anyways, this was essentially a design style where you would try to mimic the object in real life and try to make it as realistic as possible. Think the old Apple Photos app. To be honest, I think it's super ugly and just didn't work. But I think the logic here was like, okay, people aren't really using tech an insane amount. Let's get them to use tech even more. So let's make this stuff familiar for them. So we'll design it just like the objects in real life. And honestly, it just freaking looks ugly as hell and made developers' life a freaking nightmare. Then we transitioned over to flat design. You can think of this as like the minimalistic approach. Essentially, it's efficient and clean AF. And I freaking love this type of design because oftentimes the simplest answer is usually going to be the best solution. And this was great for developers because process times were pretty good, and not to mention it just looks good. If you want an example, pull your iPhone right now, stare at your home screen, and you'll see an example on almost any of the apps there. Simple AF. But the thing, for some things, it would confuse users and wasn't the best solution out there. Then we take skeuomorphism and we take flat design, we smash them together, throw out all the junk and take all the best stuff, and we're left with material design. It was essentially an approach that, again, made everything more intuitive, and by introducing stuff like shadows and various colors, you were easily able to know what was static and dynamic, what was clickable and actually was the main goal of the page, versus having to freaking guess, which is just... By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, please be sure to smash the like button down below. I would really appreciate it, and it helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. It can be tough sometimes. Okay, so now you know what the heck it is. Let's actually get you to implement it. I'm a firm believer that just having a bunch of ideas in your head without actually applying it is a waste of time. So let's figure that out. So for starters, if you're a designer or developer, go to material.io and you're gonna see essentially everything. You're gonna see all the literature for design, how to actually do all that. There's gonna be a crap ton of tools there. And for development, the same thing is there. But if you're a developer, I'm gonna recommend another tool. Anyways, let's start off with the designers. So if you're a beginner, like I was, you can literally use material to build a super strong foundation for all the stuff you're gonna be making in the future. Just read all the literature, you're gonna learn all of the good base principles, make the components, and then use all the free tools. And please, use Figma. Don't use Sketch. Don't use any of the other stuff, just use Figma. Sorry, I'm a big Figma fanboy. I love it so much. I used Sketch before. Just not the same. Not the same. But you're gonna have tools there like a color generator, like typography generators, and various other stuff like that. Even templates to import Material UI kits, dark mode and light mode, right into Figma. So you're all set, you're good to go. And if you're a developer, don't use the literature on material.io, just use the library called material slash, or dash, my apologies, UI.com, and you'll basically have a whole library of all the components right there in various different instances. Again, light mode, dark mode, and also there's a bunch of like test and experimental features that you can add on. So if your designer can see that and kind of build and customize off of that library, it just makes everything super simple. As you can see, I'm literally eternally grateful for Material UI. It completely changed my life. And if you're interested about that story and how I literally went from a undergrad that had no job and had no idea what the frick I was doing to landing a client and now doing this full time, the story's gonna be right here. Feel free to check it out.